Well, Alexis joins me in the studio now. We all like a good laugh.
We do,
don't
yes.
we? We really do. And did you know that today is the UK's first live comedy day?
I didn't.
It's a new day to celebrate the comedians, the club promoters and the venues all involved in an industry that has become a big driver for the creative economy.
Yeah, the South has produced some world-class comedians and it all starts on the local stages we're celebrating today.
It really does. Sam Fraser has been to the Wedgwood Rooms in Southsea, one of the oldest comedy clubs in the region, to meet some comics on their way up.
The Wedgwood Rooms in Southsea has been giving local comics a leg up since 1992. Acts like the Isle of Wight's Phil Jupitus, Winchester's Jack Dee and Portsmouth's Susie Ruffle have all cut their teeth here. It's an essential part of an industry that generates over £1 billion a year for the UK economy.
We do comedians on their way up. So we did a show with Michael McIntyre. We did a show with John Bishop, which I really enjoyed, on his first tour. We had 76 people in. 2-3 months later, after he'd done some TV, he sold out 2 nights at Portsmouth Guildhall.
15 years on, the things that have grown for me have been my stretch marks, my piles, and my anxiety.
Performing her work-in-progress show to a limited audience at the weekend was Gosport comedian Laura Belbin.
It's me working out what works, what doesn't work, what I need to hone in on. The thing that I realised that I needed to take from tonight is the fact that actually there's some things I need to draw out a little bit more. I love the Wedgwood Rooms. Since going into comedy, I perform every work in progress here, every year.
Making waves on the local comedy scene is young Portsmouth comedian Daniel Edison, who recently made it through the first round of this year's Britain's Got Talent competition.
Went to the doctors today. I said, "Doctor, I've got a problem with the hearing in one of my ears." He said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes, I'm definite."
So I started writing jokes at about 15 when I was at school. I was a bit of a class clown. Although I wasn't the worst one there. One kid was thrown out for covering himself in glue and running towards the head teacher. But I admire people who stick to their principles. But I did write jokes at school, and I went to see Tim Vine when I was 15 or 16. A big influence on me, and he asked people in the front row what they did for a living, and he got to my brother Bradley, and Bradley turned to me and said, "Daniel writes jokes." And Tim went, "Oh, we've got to try this out then. Please welcome to the stage, Daniel."
I've got a dog. The only problem with my dog, he doesn't eat the vegetables I feed him anymore. I think he's border collie.
Ross Bravo, who manages Matt's Comedy Club, that was the venue, got in touch with me and booked me for a 5-minute spot the following month, and I just never stopped.
Daniel, I know they were laughing, but you ruined my night.
I recently did Britain's Got Talent, of course.
Forget, mate.
And that was a whirlwind of an experience.
Things got a little suboptimal for Dan when Simon Cowell hit his buzzer.
I'm not going to lie, in the room, that buzzer is very loud. So it does, like I say, as a stand-up, you want to be relaxed, or at least appear relaxed, and put the audience at ease. Now, if something happens in the room which causes some tension, it can disrupt the flow a little bit. So all I could really do was address it. I think I said, "Well, you can't win them all," and I moved on, because I thought there's no point dwelling on it, just crack on with it. And at least with one-liners, they're so fast anyway, you can just get to your next joke. And that's what I did. Cheers. I took my dog to view the sights of Rome. Yeah, well, I just wanted to let the collie see them.
Sam Fraser, BBC South Today.
I've got one to try on Alexis.
Uh-oh.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Doctor.
Doctor Who.
Yes. I told you
It's so bad, Ed.
I told you it's bad.
Stop, please stop.